Welcome back, y'all. This is the Bluechip Breakdown, and I am your host, Bull. Huge win for our Tennessee Volunteers. First SEC game of the season for the basketball team. We won it, 76-52. I think we won by like 24 points or something like that. So very impressive. I mean, I am impressed because y'all know pregame we talked about it. I didn't think that we would even cover the spread, and it's not because I don't think that this team is good. That's a very good Arkansas team that we just beat down. Even though it was at home, to me, that doesn't really, that doesn't really make any difference. That was impressive. So please do make sure to like and subscribe whenever you come in. I wanted to get some of y'all's thoughts. This one won't be too long. Just kind of a quick little recap of the game, some of the things that I noticed that I liked, maybe that I didn't like as much. So like we said, 76-52, Tennessee does win the game by 24 points. Let's talk about what we did first and foremost. Looking at this, and actually, they don't have the minutes up quite yet. I think that Felix did a good job of limiting what Jonas Adu was gonna, how he played. Obviously, we talked pregame about will Tennessee boo him or not, and I knew that we was gonna boo him, and I'm glad that we did because that's what he deserves. But let's come back up. Let's look at what Jonas did in this game. As far as points go, let's see. He only had 4 points, so he didn't really do much of anything. And look, we said this, okay? He's a player that he's going to fold in these types of moments, and that's why I'm not too upset that he left. Honestly speaking, I think that I would have rather us said, "Hey, look, you can't play here anymore," as opposed to him having the option to leave. But I'm not going to rag on him too hard. But yeah, I mean, we did a good job of limiting Jonas Adu, which was huge for us. But I think that Felix played very well. Look at that. I mean, 10 points. He had 5 rebounds. I think that he did a really good job of just, playing defense, just being solid, moving around and making things happen. Really, for me, Igor, man, he played outstanding. How many rebounds did he end up with? Shoot. He had a total of 18 rebounds. Okay, so actually Felix only had 4, but Igor had 18 rebounds. That was a career high for him. And then he was scoring well. He scored 13 points. Let me see what he did from 3 right here. 2 of 5, which is I'm not mad at him for that. He needs to keep his shots going in. Like that's going to help with his confidence. I think that this game overall will help out a lot with his confidence. We are going to need him moving forward. So Igor, maybe, close to being player of the game for me. But you got to look at Chaz Lanier, who ended the game with 29 points. Wish that he could have got 30. Really, I was hoping that we could have held Arkansas up under 50, but they hit that 3 right at the end. But Chaz is going to Chaz, right? I mean, just outstanding. 5 and 9 from 3. He tried to punch down one of those dunks, and number 3 for Arkansas did a good job. I mean, he's a great athlete. He is an NBA player for sure. But I love the fact that Chaz is willing to, punch them dunks down. You need to do that. You need to kind of, like set that tone for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, just come out and establish dominance, scoring a whole bunch of different ways. But man, I think that his shot is quicker than, it's quicker or it's as quick as any shot that I've ever seen. I mean, he catches it and it's gone. You cannot give him any space. That's going to be deadly. I love to see that type of, player. I love to see that type of play from him. He's not afraid. He never backs away from any moments. Well, at least we haven't seen that so far. All the big games, all the bigger games, he stepped up and he's going to shoot. If he's hot, it's going to be heat check until he misses. And I love that. Reminds me a lot of DK, like we talked about pregame. But also, let's talk about ZZ, who I think played very well. 12 points today. How many assists? He had 7 assists, 3 steals. I think he did a really good job of taking care of the basketball. They said that he had 2 turnovers. It doesn't really feel like he did. Now, this game started off where Arkansas gave us their best shot. And I told y'all several times, I think that Arkansas is a team that by the end of this season, this win is going to look so good. Just because I think that they're going to be one of those teams that you look at and you don't want to play them in the tournament because of their guard play. They've got a lot of guys that can do. I mean, they can score in different ways. They can score in a quick, fast hurry. But they came out. They were playing really sticky defense versus Tennessee, and we just weathered that storm. And for us to come out and win the way that we did, getting a team like that with so much talent, so many NBA players taking their best shot and winning the way that we did, I think that is, I think that's very impressive. Meshack, great game on defense, just like always. I do want for him to find more confidence in shooting. And I don't know, basketball is just one of those games where people, it's like the confidence, it's it's very like frail. I guess maybe it's the best way for me to say it. It doesn't take much for your confidence to get up, and it doesn't take much for it to go down with some players. I think that Meshack is one of those players that he needs to see some shots go down early. I would love to see Coach Barnes try to implement something to get him some easy looks earlier in games and have him be a real part of our offense. If we can get Meshack to give us something on the offensive side, with everyone else pretty much doing what they do, and then we could also get a player like Dollar Stone Dubar to give us a little bit more, because he looked like a little, maybe like a step slow. I would say same thing. It's like it kind of felt like he didn't have as much confidence. He needs to find his confidence too, because we need him. We're going to need everybody, and we got to stay healthy. Cade Phillips continues to play very, very well. What did he end up with? Only 2 points. I feel like he had more than that, but I mean, he is just such a presence. He's right where you want him to be. Plays with so much effort. A lot of his stuff might not fully show up on the stat sheet, boxing out. And I would say the same thing with Chaz. The way that he's, I saw him boxing out and actually kind of pushed around Jonas. Obviously, I love to see ZZ going right at Jonas too. That's just kind of, it's kind of like a nod to the fan base of the principles that this team stands on. I think the Gainey, he didn't have his best game. He had 7 points today, but I love the fact that he will continue to shoot. He's still, same thing, doing a whole lot of really nice things that might not always show up on the stat sheet. Boswell came in for how many? Well, we can't see the minutes right now, but Boswell came in for maybe like 5 minutes. He didn't come in for long, but we need for him to continue to work himself onto the court. I would love if he could take away 5 minutes from ZZ and cut ZZ's minutes down from 33 to like 28 minutes. Man, that over the course of a long season, that adds up. We need ZZ to stay healthy, because the way that he plays defense, I mean, he's the ultimate leader for this team. He does just everything that you want, steps up in the biggest moments. So just from top to bottom, y'all, I'm very impressed with our Vols. I think that this is a great opening showing for conference play. Let's talk about Arkansas's players. So Adu Thero, we held him to 6 points. He's averaging, I think, 17 or 18 or something on the season. And man, we did a great job guarding him. That was very impressive, because that is a very good basketball player. And then the other player that I want to talk about, Boogie Flan, he had 12 points. Man, he's serious. But this is what I'm saying, is that they've got guys who can create their own shot. They can knock down shots and spot up shooters, and they try to play sticky defense. They're not going to be as good at it as Coach Barnes' teams, but I like the fact that at least they are trying to. I think this team is going to continue to climb, but he's really good. Definitely, he's NBA player all day long. All day long. DJ Wagner had 17 points. He also played well. He's another one. Typically, Fland is going to score more than Wagner does. But, Wagner, he got a little bit more opportunities today. And, I think that he did a good job of knocking down shots. But, man, I don't know what the final 3-point percentage was that we held him to. And we talked about it. They kind of started the game off with some open looks. They start off really hot. Actually, Wagner started the game off very hot. I think he scored the first 7 points. But whenever you have a team that plays really good defense and that buys into defense from top to bottom and everyone's going to be locked in, then you can limit, scores like this. It's just, for me, everything is so impressive with this team. And I could not be prouder now. It is a very, very long season, but cannot say enough about the way that we came out and performed today. Let me get to some of these chats real quick. The first one is going to be from Blockhead, saying defense and rebounding told the story of that game for sure. And, that's Rick Barnes basketball. From Andrew Ginhold, saying go Big Orange. Bluechip was a beast on the boards. Yeah, man. Career high. You gotta love that. Super proud of him. Super happy for him. From Jordan Ledford, saying if Chaz has an off game versus a better SEC team, do you think we would lose? Go Big Orange. Big W. Yeah. So P and I we talked about this some pregame. I think that that's one of the bigger things, is that we do need to continue to find consistent scoring. But we've got 4 players that are averaging double digits in scoring per game. So I think that this team is different from last season, where that would have been the problem last year, where if DK is not scoring, it's like, damn, I mean, somebody's going to have a just almost tremendous game, or several people are going to have to play over their heads for us to have a chance to win, especially if you're talking about versus better SEC competition or in tournament play. Now, I feel a lot more confident with this team being able to sustain it. If a guy like Chaz is having an off night, I feel a lot more confident with Gainey, with ZZ, especially with Igor. I think that Felix, he has to continue to find, the confidence to keep on scoring more and more, but I think that he will as the season wears on. And like we talked about, some of the other players, they just have to, they're going to have to just play with confidence. That's going to be the biggest thing. But yeah, I think that this team is in a much better position than we were last season to be able to sustain having our superstar with Chaz having an off night. But I think that's always what you look at least for me, because everything about, basketball, even football, it's about playoffs or it's about tournament play. It's about winning championships. Every sport that we're in, that's what I'm looking towards. Basketball is different because it's a longer season, so you can kind of try some things out. And really, I think that Coach Barnes should work towards doing that. Let's get in more players. Let's try to get their confidence level up, because whether we want to lose some of these games, I don't think that it's going to hold too much bearing on this team in the tournament, because we do have a talented enough roster. We just have to build that depth. So kind of a long answer right there, but yeah, I think that we could be fine. I mean, can it get us at some point throughout the season? Yeah, but my whole point right there is hopefully those are learning moments for us that we will grow from, and that the team is better for once we do get to the playoffs. All right, let's get to the next one right here from Big Dogs Gotta Eat, saying go Big Orange. Love it. Huge win for us today, y'all. Huge win. Really great way to, I think, kind of show and prove that, hey, we really are number one. Now, Arkansas, again, ranked number 23, but the way that we dominated them, very impressed. Very, very, very good look. We just got to keep it going. From JPad86 saying GBFO and FUGA. I love to hear that. Nothing like Smoke Piggy for sure. And from Brian saying solid win, go Big Orange. Great thoughts from everybody. Dirty Higgins is saying, I told you all before the game, Tennessee wins by 20 plus. You did. You definitely called it. You was right. And, it's not that I was doubting us by any means. I just, I didn't know if we was this. I mean, this is a different level of good. You know what I'm saying? And I, watched most of our games all season. I knew that we were a good team, but Arkansas, they're a very good team. So for us to be able to win the way that we did, I would say that Tennessee at this point, still very early on in the season, but we are one of the elite in college basketball. And like I said, we deserve to be number one, I think, anyway. JPad86 saying, Joseph, hey, who? Yeah, he didn't do a thing. He got shut down. Dirty Higgins saying, hey, who? Yeah, I was happy to see us out there booing him. Money controls it all, saying wrong account. LOL. Okay. I got you, bro. Vols got full. I think that you're from the A. We are too. Happy to have you join us. Saying, damn, man, we look scary good this year. Yeah, we do. Dude, if we still had JP and Cam Carr, which tell me how y'all think about Cam Carr. I don't think this would ever happen, but he's going to be staying with us. Well, I wonder if he's done now, because school is done. I think he's set to try to transfer. I don't know how that works. I don't know if he's going to be transferring this January or what, or if it's going to be later on. Either way, if we could somehow get Cam Carr back, and JP's done for the season, but imagine this team then. That is super scary, because having more depth, man, like you talk about what Cade Phillips has shown us, stepping up in such a major way, having depth with your big guys, adding JP to that, which again, we don't have to talk about it too much because it's just not going to happen. But then you add Cam Carr, who had one of the best 3-point shooting percentages on this team at like 40%. He's like 6'6". He can do a lot of things. Like, you need that depth. You need those scorers. You need those spark plugs kind of coming off of the bench. You need to be able to spell some players and situations and things like that. I think that, man, this team I would feel so confident, y'all, that we would probably be winning the whole thing. Not to say that I don't feel like we can do it now. I just think it's going to be more of a grind for us. We gotta do it the correct way, because players will get burnt out if you're not being careful with their minutes. So let's see, who else do we have? From Wesley Spears is saying, we need a big win like this to start off conference play. Go Big Orange 100%. And from Adam Fowler is saying, if we had Igor last year, we would have beat Purdue. I agree. I think that, the way that Jonas kind of just like went away, he didn't even barely play in that game. But the way that he just, kind of packed it in, yeah, like, we need dogs. And, that's the thing with Igor, is he's showing that he's not just a player that's going to stretch the floor and shoot. he can get down there and get dirty. And that's what we're going to need inside of this conference for sure. But yeah, that's what we've been missing is big rebounders. I think that you hit the nail on the head. But huge win for our Vols, man. Really great way to start off the conference play. I think that things are looking up. We have Florida next, I want to say on Tuesday. I think that game might be in Gainesville, if I'm not mistaken. But that's going to be a big test because right now Tennessee is one of two undefeated teams in the entire country. Oklahoma is the other one, and they have who do they have today? I think they've got a pretty good team today. I can't remember exactly who it is, but so they're going to be in conference play today too. It's very possible that Tennessee could be if they play today. I think they do, but it's very possible that Tennessee could be the only undefeated team in the country after today, or after these next couple of days up until our next game. So how do we handle that, especially if that game versus Florida is on the road? I think that this team is old enough and has been through enough stuff that's not going to be an issue. So love the way that this team is built from top to bottom. So great way to start it off. I also want to throw something out there here real quick. I did see that Chaz Nimrod, wide receiver from our football team that hit the portal, he's going to South Florida to be with Coach Alex Golish. So I found that interesting. I wonder how much that was. I'm sure that Golish probably reached out, but I'm curious how much did Chaz Nimrod said, "Hey, I want to go back to the old offense that I'm used to." You know what I'm saying? The old offense that I saw before. So that's pretty interesting. But that's something that maybe we'll talk about a little bit more on a different day. Just wanted to kind of get out some final thoughts on this game and see what y'all had to say about it. But I will get back to the rest of my Saturday. I hope that y'all do the same. Please do enjoy it. And thank y'all for joining us. Please do, as always, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And we will see y'all on the next one. Thanks. Peace.